Isn't it exciting to see those bright yellow flowers popping up on your tomato plants? It's like a little burst of sunshine in your garden. But these little flowers are more than just pretty faces. They're a sign that your tomato plants are happy, healthy, and ready to start producing delicious fruit. Seeing these cheerful blooms means you're on the right track. It's time to shift gears and give your plants a little extra TLC to encourage those flowers to transform into juicy, ripe tomatoes. So let's dive in and learn all about these amazing little flowers and how to help them reach their full potential. Those sunny yellow blossoms are like tiny promises of deliciousness to come. They signal that your tomato plant is transitioning from its leafy growth stage to the exciting fruiting stage. Each flower has the potential to develop into a plump, juicy tomato. Think of each flower as a tiny tomato factory. Inside each bloom, a magical process called pollination takes place. This process allows the flower to develop into a fruit. So the more healthy flowers you have, the more tomatoes you'll get to enjoy. Now, let's talk about the fascinating world of tomato plant reproduction. It's a journey that starts with a delicate flower and ends with a juicy, ripe fruit. Unlike some plants that rely on bees or the wind for pollination, tomato plants are self-pollinating. This means they have a unique ability to fertilize themselves without external help. That means they can do the job all on their own. This self-sufficiency is one of the reasons why tomato plants are so prolific and easy to grow. Each tomato flower has both male and female parts within it. The male part, known as the stamen, and the female part, called the pistil, work together in harmony. The male part produces pollen, which is a fine, powdery substance that contains the plant's sperm cells, and the female part contains the ovules, which are the plant's egg cells. These ovules are nestled within the ovary at the base of the pistil. When the flower is mature, a gentle shake from the wind or a little buzz from a visiting bee is often all it takes to dislodge the pollen. This natural movement ensures that the pollen reaches the stigma. The pollen then falls onto the stigma, the tip of the female part, and fertilization occurs. This process is crucial for the development of the fruit. Voila! You have the beginnings of a tiny tomato. Over time, this tiny fruit will grow and mature, eventually becoming the delicious tomato we all know and love. This transformation from flower to fruit is a remarkable journey of nature. Sometimes you might notice your tomato flowers drying up and falling off without producing any fruit. This is called blossom drop, and it can be disheartening for any gardener. Don't worry though. Blossom drop is often a sign that something is slightly off in the plant's environment and can be easily fixed. Extreme temperatures, inconsistent watering, lack of nutrients, or even low pollination rates can cause blossom drop. Luckily, with a bit of observation and adjustment, you can help your tomato plants thrive and ensure those blossoms turn into beautiful tomatoes. While tomato plants are perfectly capable of self-pollinating, giving them a little help in the pollination department never hurts. This can be especially important in gardens where natural pollinators might be scarce or during periods of still weather when there isn't much wind to move the pollen around. Even though they don't rely on insects, a gentle breeze or a visit from a friendly bumblebee can significantly increase the chances of successful pollination and, therefore, fruit production. Bumblebees are particularly effective because they perform a behavior known as buzz pollination, where they vibrate their bodies to shake pollen loose from the flowers. To encourage these helpful pollinators, consider planting companion flowers near your tomatoes. Companion planting not only beautifies your garden, but also creates a more inviting environment for pollinators and other beneficial insects. Flowers like marigolds, zinnias, and basil are not only pretty, but they also attract beneficial insects to your garden. These flowers provide nectar and pollen, which are essential food sources for bees, butterflies, and other pollinators. You can also gently shake the tomato plants yourself every now and then to help release the pollen. This mimics the natural movement caused by wind or visiting insects and can be particularly useful in greenhouses or indoor gardens where natural pollination agents are limited. It's a simple trick that can lead to a more abundant harvest. By taking these small steps to assist in the pollination process, you can ensure that your tomato plants produce more fruit, leading to a bountiful and rewarding harvest season. Just like us, tomato plants thrive in a comfortable environment. They love sunshine and need at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight every day. So choose a sunny spot in your garden where they can soak up those warm rays. Watering is equally important. Tomatoes prefer consistent moisture, but be careful not to overwater them. Water deeply at the base of the plant, avoiding the leaves, and allow the soil to dry out slightly between waterings. This helps prevent root rot and keeps the plants happy and hydrated. To support all that flower power and ensure those blossoms turn into plump tomatoes, your plants need a good meal plan. Tomatoes are hungry feeders, so it's essential to provide them with the right nutrients throughout the growing season. Start with nutrient-rich soil and supplement it with a balanced fertilizer specifically formulated for tomatoes. Look for fertilizers that are high in phosphorus and potassium, as these nutrients promote flower and fruit development. Feed your plants every 2 to 3 weeks for optimal growth. One of the most rewarding parts of growing tomatoes is witnessing the magical transformation from flower to fruit. Once your tomato flowers are pollinated, you'll notice tiny green fruits begin to emerge behind the spent blossoms. These little green gems will gradually swell and ripen, changing color from green to yellow, orange, or red, depending on the variety. It's a slow and steady process, but the anticipation makes the final harvest all the more satisfying. As much as we try to provide the perfect environment for our tomato plants, sometimes issues pop up. But don't worry, most problems are easily solvable with a little detective work. If you notice the bottom of your tomatoes turning black, it could be blossom end rot, a sign of calcium deficiency. Yellowing leaves might indicate a lack of nitrogen or magnesium. Curled leaves could be a sign of stress from heat, pests, or inconsistent watering. Keep a close eye on your plants and address any issues promptly to keep them healthy and productive. The journey from planting a tiny seed to harvesting a bountiful crop is truly a rewarding experience. After weeks of anticipation, the day has finally arrived. It's harvest time. The garden is brimming with ripe, juicy tomatoes, each one a testament to the care and effort you've put in. There's nothing quite like the taste of a sun-ripened tomato, freshly picked from your own garden. The warmth of the sun still lingers on its skin, and the flavor is unmatched by anything you can buy in a store. The vibrant colors, the juicy flesh, and the sweet, tangy flavor are a true testament to your hard work and dedication. Each variety of tomato brings its own unique taste and texture, adding a burst of color and flavor to your meals. Whether you enjoy your tomatoes fresh in salads, sliced on sandwiches, or simply with a sprinkle of salt, the possibilities are endless. The versatility of tomatoes makes them a staple in many kitchens. Simmered into rich, flavorful sauces, tomatoes can transform a simple dish into a culinary masterpiece. From pasta sauces to soups, their uses are limitless. Canning, freezing, or drying your excess harvest allows you to savor the flavors of summer all year round. Preserving your tomatoes ensures that none of your hard work goes to waste, and you can enjoy the taste of your garden even in the depths of winter. And don't forget to share your bounty with friends, family, and neighbors. Sharing the fruits of your labor not only spreads joy, but also fosters a sense of community and connection. There's something special about giving and receiving homegrown produce, knowing the love and effort that went into growing it. Growing tomatoes is a journey filled with anticipation, discovery, and ultimately, the joy of harvest. From those cheerful yellow flowers to the plump, ripe fruit, every stage of the process is a reminder of the magic of nature and the satisfaction of nurturing something with your own two hands. So, embrace the journey, enjoy the process, and get ready to savor the delicious rewards of your labor. Happy gardening!